all of you for coming. This is my last speech for Dr. Curry's speech class. It is an actuation speech. And today has been a little odd, so I'm a little discombobulated. So right now, I would like for you to imagine that I am tossing a football, because I was supposed to bring one. And I don't know if we all realize how much a football and our educational system have in common. They seem very straightforward. A football is a ball that we use to play a game. It is a game that we have been playing since we were children. But we have learned that football, I'll set it down, as you get older, and as the players get older, it moves from being something that children enjoy to a business. And right now, one of the big things that's in the news is that football players are actually suing the NFL and many of its partners because they have known for many years how dangerous concussions are and how they impact a person's life forever. Many of our professional football players now have very serious illnesses and have become disabled, not because of a broken bone, but because of concussions they incurred practicing and training. Our education system seems very straightforward, but before you can understand our education system, you've got to understand who the players are and what their ideals and their purposes are in being in the educational system. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about who the main players are, what some of the programs are that they have come up with and that we are using, and how those can be good and or bad. And then tell you how you can get involved and make a difference. There are four main players. I'll jump right in to the educational system. One is parents. And our view of the educational system, we want a system that our children can enjoy and that our children can learn from. And we want them to learn enough so that they can lead happy, healthy, productive lives. That's what every parent wants for their child. You have local businesses and national businesses. And what they want from the educational system is people who have the abilities to perform the tasks that the businesses need. Be that a service industry, be it a retailer, be it an international commercial bank. Then we've got our local governments, and that's on our local county level and our state level. And they also want from the educational system, they want employees to help support the local economy. They want people with enough information that they can help support the civic structure of our cities, our towns, and such. And they also are hoping that they have the ability to help grow the economic base in that area. On the federal level, it's a lot like what our locals want. They want employees that can help grow the national product, be that through their labor, their innovations, their ideas, but that is what they're looking for. So those are the four main players and kind of what their perspective are in our education system. We have heard a lot in the news about a few programs and laws that have been implemented. The first one that has made a huge change in our educational system is called No Child Left Behind. It is a bipartisan law that became law in 2002. President Bush is the one who signed it into law, but it actually began back in the Clinton administration. There are four main architects. Two are Republicans, two are Democrats, two are senators, and two are congressmen. So it truly was a bipartisan effort and a lot of people behind it. The purpose of No Child Left Behind was, and I'm going to paraphrase, that every child, regardless of income, background, and ethnicity, received a quality education. And that parents would know not just their child's grade, but how their child was performing in comparison to other students in the school, other schools in their district, and other districts in their state. That was the main point and purpose. And that sounds very good. We all would like that. In 2009, President Obama revealed the Race to the Top to help push forward and to help stimulate and build upon No Child Left Behind. It is not a law, but it is actually, let me flip through here and get the right number, a $4.35 billion, with a B, dollar contest for states. States can be awarded money based on the number of points they earn in planning and implementing educational innovations to help improve education. And that is going to be measured by statistics that the states take and report. The first phase, it was in 3 phases. The first phase, the award was done in 2011, and the state of Tennessee received $500 million. We were the number 2 winner. We received that amount of money because of the size of our educational system and how well we did in coming up with innovations. 2 of the innovations, one was designed by Tennessee, and it's called TEAM, Teacher Education Acceleration Model. And it provides a way to measure student progress using value added. The other program that's been used in the state of Tennessee is called TAP. And it was actually, its acronym has nothing to do with what it does. I don't know why they came up with the word TAP. But it was designed in 1999 out in California by a man by the name of Lowell Milken, M-I-L-K-E-N. He is a gentleman, he's a philanthropist, and he got his degree in business administration from UC Berkeley, and he also received his law degree from UCLA. And it has been a national program. It is also a performance-based educational model to help teachers and educators measure the progress of students. And then the last thing that we hear a lot about is Common Core. Common Core was designed by the governors and the state education officials of 48 states. They had input from several education organizations and educators, but it is mainly their way to prepare college and career readiness for students in grades kindergarten through 12 so that they can be ready to step out into the world and perform. Now, all of these groups, all of these programs sound really good. So what is the problem? Well, in No Child Left Behind, one of the goals that they had for educators was that 100% of students would reach proficiency by 2014. There are a few problems with that. What is proficiency? Grade level. Who's going to measure grade level? Most people don't realize that your newspaper is written on a 3rd grade reading level. Very few, and I'm talking maybe 2% of your high school seniors actually read on a 12th grade reading level. A 12th grade reading level is actually what is considered what your doctoral students do at the universities. Most high school seniors will graduate with a reading level between 7th and 9th grade. So who's going to determine what is proficient? The other is 100% all students. Anyone who works with children or has children knows that there are no 2 children or students who are alike. You can sit down with a room of PhDs and they all have different proficiencies in reading. That's just the nature of who we are. We are individuals. We are not cookie. Okay? So I don't know why that camera just stopped. But the issue with the students is that we are not cookie cutters. We are not cut out with a cookie cutter. And so those were 2 of the huge problems with No Child Left Behind. Now, when we had Race to the Top, that the Obama administration and the Department of Education came out with, that sounds wonderful. Let's reward people who come up with innovation. But in Race to the Top, using many of the models that they're using, they are using what we call value-added measurement and statistics to discern which teachers and classes are performing and having improvements. The first problem I have with value-added is it was created by a gentleman here at the University of Tennessee in the agricultural department. It is based on statistical formulas that they use for cattle production. I think that personally has nothing to do with how I need to measure teachers and my students. The other problem with value added is if my class today of 5th graders earns an 85 on their test that they're supposed to be testing on, next year my students have to do better. They have to score an 85.5, whatever the statistical thing is. So each year, each class is supposed to score better and better and better. So the question then comes, what are we going to do with our kindergartners and our first graders and our preschoolers to have them ready to continue to score better on these tests? Common Core was implemented by the, created by the governors and the gentlemen or ladies who are the state superintendents of the education system, for lack of a better word. Keywords have frightened educators, and a little bit about who came up with it. We know that our governors are elected. We also know, because we talked about their perspective on education, it is to get employees, employers ready, and people ready to help grow the infrastructure of the state. We would think that the chief education operators for the state would be very good education people. However, in 35 of our states, those people are appointed by the State Board of Education. In 23 of our states, the State Board of Education is appointed by the governor. So you have the governors who are coming up with this, and more than half of the states that are participating in this, the education person has either been appointed by the governor's Board of Education or has been appointed by the governor himself. So there's very little influence from educators into Common Core. In fact, many childhood development specialists are protesting, setting up websites, and doing things because they have not taken any childhood development into consideration with this. They are asking our kindergartners and our first graders to do things that they are not physically, mentally, and emotionally, developmentally ready, if you put all those illies in there, to do. So, we just heard a presentation about the lack of arts. Common Core and value added do not focus on the arts. In fact, their models provide the data showing that they are not important in our education system. What is important is mathematics and the science. We hear STEM Academy all of the time, mathematics and science, because we are becoming a more technological society. And we don't have a problem with that, but we are starting to leave too many other things out. So now that I've thrown all of this information out to you, the question is why? What our educational system does impacts not just our children that are in it, but it impacts our society and how we look at what our society is going to be. So that means whether you be a parent of children in the school system, a grandparent of children in the system, a single with no children in the system, or a homeschooler, what our government decides to do with education impacts your life and your future life. So I have brought, and I have to pass out to you, it's on another table unfortunately, a list of Knox County educational people so you can get in touch with them, and I realize that not everyone here in the audience lives in Knox County. But it also has our state representatives, our state board of education. It also has our state representatives, how you can find your personal state senator, not state senator, but your state representative for the state of Tennessee, and your national. It also has the website where I got all of my facts, so that you can look at this for yourself. Because for too long, too many of us, instead of going to get the facts, we've listened to what our neighbor has said or what they've reported on the news, and we're not necessarily getting the whole story. So please take this information, look at it, and see what it means. If you agree with what they're doing, that's wonderful. We live in the United States of America. You have the right to agree with it, write them and tell them they're doing a good job. If you have a problem with it, please speak up and tell them that too. Thank you.